I'm Johnny Scoville, and this is Chase the Heat. I'm kind of a fan of doing things that, if I say I'm going to do something, I usually do it. I've got some stomach stuff going on right now, so I was planning on doing a challenge with some WARTHOGS Phenotype 2. But what I'm doing now is as you saw in the thumbnail, I'm going to do a couple. These are Phenotype 2 WARTHOGS from Matthew Arthur, but it's going to start with a confession. I'm big on owning what things I've done. The book that I'm writing is all about owning things I've done. At any rate, I'm going to share with you something now that I have not shared with you. I told Matthew this. Matthew Arthur is the only one that knows this. But one of the questions that I get asked an awful lot is, like, do you throw up? Do you digest every pepper you eat? On a challenge, a big challenge. When I say big, I mean more than 6 to 8 peppers, depending on how hot they are. I'll bring them back up. If you've ever seen a League of Fire chili contest or any sanctioned chili contest where people are sitting down eating plates, they bring round 1, round 2. At the end of those, don't think for a minute that people will eat 30 or 40 peppers and just process them and just kind of go on with their day. They don't. Joey Chestnut, when he eats 70 hot dogs at the Coney Island hot dog contest, do you think he just goes home and chills out and watches a ball game? He brings them up. Chilies are no different, especially contests. I'm just saying specifically contests. The one in Netflix, every time I've ever a belt match with Sheena, if nobody's trying to digest 50 super hots, okay? That's a trip to an emergency room. So, however, like at home doing, videos like this, if it's a lot of peppers, 8, 10 peppers or more, I'm going to get them up. I'm going to refund. Reversal of fortune. I'm going to get rid of them just to avoid the nightmare of processing them. I've had once one of the worst I've ever dealt with. If you saw the video 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I tried to eat 30 chocolate primatalis. I think I got through, I don't know if it was 13 of them or 15 of them or something. And I went to the bathroom when the video was over and tried to bring them back up. And it was one of the scariest things. I wasn't able to. I couldn't. They just weren't coming up. I don't know what happened. I could not bring them up. And I passed. I digested. I don't know how many there were. It was over 13 chocolate primatalis. And it was one of the worst experiences I've ever gone through. But I only do that on big events, big video. The other day, I did you have no idea how much I've been thinking about that pepper, that one specific video, because I've eaten a bunch of WARTHOGS. They're all piping hot, they're all ridiculous, but that one that day. Now, twice since I've gotten a hold of these WARTHOGS, I've done a side-by-side with the chocolate primatali. In one video, I ate the chocolate primatali first. And then I ate the WARTHOG. And then in the other video, I ate the WARTHOG first, and then the primatali. The video where I ate the chocolate primatali first, it was it was fine. The video was over, I cramped a little bit. Digested it like a normal meal, all right? Now, here's the confession. I told Matthew this. After the video the second time, where I ate the chocolate primatali first. Listen, I used to live in Reno. It's a betting town. The odds are, if I had to place a bet before that video, I was sure. I looked at the inside of them. I was sure that chocolate primatali was going to be worse. Not just because it was loaded with oils, but it was twice as big. It had to be twice as the weight of the WARTHOG. And I ate the chocolate primatale, and I was fine. I mean, I don't like watching videos with me. I love watching videos with me and other people because they're funny. But I watched that video probably 3 or 4 times because I couldn't believe it. It's out of all the videos I've ever made, 6,000 plus, is the one that stands out the most. More than the skydiving ones, more than the ones in different countries. I've just never experienced anything like that. If I've watched it and I was fine, the chocolate primatale had peaked, was already on its way down. I had zero problem talking. Sure, my throat was burning, but I could have eaten more. I know I could have eaten more. And then I ate one warthog, and the wheels came off. Everything changed so fast, so hard. And I thought about it over and over and over again. I've never experienced anything like that. It was surreal. I don't know if it was I'm wondering, is it a rogue pepper? I don't know. I never professed to have the highest tolerance for chilies. I've never said that. There's no video out of the 6,000 where I say that. I'll give you a round trip ticket around the world if you ever hear me say saying it seriously that I have the strongest tolerance. I don't. I never said that. Ever, not once. But I got a pretty good tolerance, I do. I've never felt anything like that. Now, after that video was over, I suffered. I ended the video rather quickly. I almost turned it off now, hung out for a few more minutes because I just didn't want to appear like I was caving too quickly. After the video was over, I got a message from Matthew, Arthur, and he goes, "How's your stomach?" Here's the confession. You ready? The reason I ended that video really quickly is because I immediately ran to the bathroom and threw up. And it wasn't like every other contest, when I have a contest, pick one, doesn't matter. I have to induce it. I have to, put my fingers in my throat to make that happen. I turned the video off on that video and sprinted to the bathroom as quick as I could. Actually, I drank a little bit of milk first at the fridge, just because I thought I was going to die. And then went straight to the bathroom, and it came up. It wasn't something I wanted to have happen. I can't remember that. That's never happened from eating 2 pods. And there's a confession. So my stomach's a little off today. It was off yesterday, off a little last night. So instead of doing a challenge of Warthog Phenotype 2, I'm only going to eat 2 of them, okay? Listen, it is what it is. Maybe I met my match. All I'm telling you is I've never experienced anything like that before in my life. Ever. It was just, I'm not a bragging type of guy. I'm not. I don't like being called a legend. I don't like being called an icon or any of those other weird words. But I doubt that there's anybody else on the planet who's eaten more peppers on video than me. There might be. I probably would have heard of them by now, But I've eaten thousands. To have 6,000 videos under your belt and to have an experience like that it changed the game for me. I've never experienced anything like that. So I'm going to give my stomach a bit of a break. I'm only going to eat 2 of these piglets. That's the actual name of a baby warthog because these are smaller. They smell hot. These are Phenotype 2. Now, I wanted to give you guys yesterday, Matthew sent out 142 envelopes. 142 of you. And that was just yesterday. There are a lot more. This is what he has said. I want everybody to make sure you listen. Everybody who mailed him a self-addressed stamped envelope, and I don't care where you mailed it from, you are going to get seeds. There are people, you can see him in the comment section. Keith Lego already got his. He said he got the golden ticket, felt like the Willy Wonka character. There are people that have gotten theirs already. There are people that haven't. Matthew is as stand-up a guy as I know. That is, if that guy, listen, he's a good man. And if he says he's going to send you, if you got him a stamped envelope, self-addressed stamped envelope, you can count on the fact that you're going to get some. And he threw in some extra different kinds as well. He'll separate them for you. But you are going to get them. If he didn't say stop. If you want seeds, there's a link in the description box for his address. It's Centerview, not Centerville. But I'm going to eat 2 of these right now. I don't know what's going to happen, but all I'm telling you is I've never experienced anything like this before. I mean, it's the weirdest thing for me, because if that had happened and I was a week into the channel, it still would have been weird. Almost 8 years and 6,000 videos. And I've never, ever had a burn come on that. That was like a plutonium burn. I've spent so much time getting ready to. I'll get to it. I'm going to eat these peppers now. I'm just telling you, there was the truth. There's my confession. I couldn't keep those down, and it wasn't the chocolate primatali that was causing the disruption in my stomach. It was the warthog. Here's the first one. All right, I already got pictures of these. I'm going to be on Instagram. This is what the inside of a scary, scary pepper looks like. I never before had to throw up because of 2 peppers, not once in 8 years. But I did tell Matthew that day. Oh, by the way, a lot of you have asked if Matthew would do an interview with me. So I messaged him and said, hey, you want to do an interview with me? You know what he said? He was sure. So we're going to do a Skype interview. If you guys want to send some questions, put some questions in the comments if you want. I don't script anything. Everything I wing it. So I'm going to have some questions that I'll toss at him. But if you have some special questions you want answered, put them in the comment section. And in the next week or 2, there'll be an interview face-to-face. Well, it'll be Skype, but you'll see both of us in the interview doing this. And it'll be in the next couple of weeks. By the way, one of the phenotype 2 was, I think it was hotter than, I don't know. Listen, these are just weird peppers. I'm Johnny Scoville. This is Chase the Heat. It's a hot pepper. Now, the people that are getting phenotype or that are sending him a message, an email, I can't speak. Those of you that are sending a self-addressed stamped envelope to Matthew now are getting the phenotype 1, not these. It's just a wicked hot pepper. I can feel it in my eyes. And the thing that's unique, there's somebody else who ate a pepper. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry. Forgive me. But apparently, when he did his video, he said the same thing about the pulsating burn. And it happens all the time. It'll pulse. It's a throbbing heat. And I've experienced it before. But every time it's been like an isolated case. Where every single time I eat one of these, I'll get this pulsating burn in my throat. Here's the second one right now. Let me come bring it in slowly. Look at that. My throat's on fire right now. It's a shocking little pepper. This one's hotter than the first one. I can tell right away. Now I want to tell you something. I never put on an act. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but I've had a chili head that makes videos tell me I have it in a chat. I will never show it. I will never say the person's name, but I have a person saying that they exaggerate the pain they're in because it creates more views. I won't tell you who it is. I won't show you the I don't do that. If, somebody sends me a DM, it stays that way. But I've never ever exaggerated heat. If anything, and I said this the other day, if anything, my mouth is so hot right now. If anything, I downplay it. I try, and I'm not trying to be cool, not trying to be tough, but my job as a reviewer, is to be able to convey to you effectively with speech, with using my words, what I'm feeling, where I'm feeling it, what it tastes like, so that you can determine if it's something you want to experience yourself. Both of those peppers were fruity. The second one was instantly hotter than the first one was. My ears are burning right now from 2 pods. This is not as hot as the one I had that day. But I'm telling you, it's just, and I don't know if it was a rogue pepper. I don't have the highest tolerance in the world. Never professed to. But what I can tell you, that in 6,000 videos, I've never experienced anything like this. Even if I stopped at just the first one, it was a very, very hot pepper, but the second one was noticeably hotter. And I'm getting that throbbing pain right now. The burn in my throat, it's pulsating. Right now, as I'm looking at you, it's pulsating it's on my tongue and in my throat. It's doing this. And it's the pain. That might be the weirdest part. It's peaked and it's still staying there. So it peaks and likes to hang out. It doesn't really. If you've eaten a lot of peppers, a pepper reaches its peak and then immediately starts to decline. This one does not, at least with me. It hits the peak. It's beautiful. It's great. If you like the burn, if you like burning, if you like pain, this is your pepper. Because this thing rifles up like that. It's not one of these gentle climbs. It's like this. And when it gets there, it's going to chill for a while. And it's going to throb. My tongue, the back of my tongue is throbbing right now. My scale right now is probably a 6. Maybe, 6 probably. I'm telling you, it's a weird pepper. It has an unusual burn. Think about what peppers have an unusual burn. Habanero, orange habanero, they sting, right? Well, other peppers have an unusual burn. Amnesia seems to last longer. My tongue is throbbing. It's still throbbing. It started peaking about 5 minutes ago. It hasn't come down yet. It's not even started to come down yet. That's unusual. I cannot think of another pepper that does that. Now, is it only doing it to me? Like, will you experience that? I don't know. There's nobody alive who's going to eat this and not say it's a ripping hot pepper. I can promise you that. Okay, there it's okay. Right now, it just started to come down. All right? But when this comes down, it doesn't come down like that. It doesn't come down the way it goes up. It goes up like this and stays like that for a while. And it's still throbbing. My tongue is still throbbing. It's the weirdest thing. But that's a true confession. I wasn't going to, I thought about, it's not a bravado thing. It's like I'm ashamed. Every contest I've been in, I'm going to chuck those up afterwards. But to happen with only 2 peppers is really, really weird. It wasn't like I induced it. They were coming up, whether I was in front of a toilet or not. I'm just telling you guys, this is a weird pepper. Now it's on its way down, but my tongue is still throbbing. It has a pulsating heat. That is the most unusual quality of it. It has a wicked quick ascent. It plateaus for a while, but you get this pulsating. You remember the cartoons where a guy would hit his thumb with a hammer and his thumb does this? It's your heart beating. I swear to you, it's the same sort of pulsing burn. But it's just, and I've had that happen, but never repeatedly over and over and over again. Like another burn characteristic, a 7-pot Primo. It doesn't burn your tongue, it doesn't burn your mouth. Where does it get you? Not so much here or here, but right in here. It gets you in the throat. That's what happens with 7-pot Primos. This pepper pulsates. It's just a weird pepper. I can't stop thinking about it. I mean, it's the most exciting thing. Like what? I had this talk with Dizzy Dragon. I said there'll never be a 3 million Scoville pepper. And I'll be honest with you, when the chocolate primatale came out, my tongue is still throbbing. If you ate the average person eat these, they're not talking right now. I'm like having to use the strength of my superpower to do this. But, I don't know if it's going to pulsate with you and if it's going to plateau like it is with you, but there's no way you're going to eat this and not go, wow, that's an unusual pepper. But when the chocolate primatale came out, I remember thinking, I can't see it getting hotter. I think we've reached the limit. I can't see peppers getting a whole lot hotter. And then I had an Omega pepper from Tom Broom, which was just as hot. I was like, wow, that's interesting. Then I had a Louisiana Creeper from Troy Primo. I thought, man, that's interesting. And then this. And what this did was it flipped the script. It changed the whole thing for me. They're going to get hotter. I'm sure of it now. And I wasn't. I thought we kind of reached the peak. We haven't. Finally coming down and giving me a break now. The throbbing is over. And the endorphin rush I've got, I'm feeling an endorphin rush right now, but it's not enough to drop it. Like, I had an endorphin rush on the really bad one where I did the chocolate primatale first and then the warthog after. That was a bad one. I'm telling you guys, this is just an unusual pepper. Really, really is. It's the most exciting thing that's happened in the pepper, in this game since I started. Whew. Who knows? Maybe it's just my nemesis pepper. Who knows? But I'll tell you this. I don't fake anything. And I was trying really hard in this video to seem cool and collected. It hurts. I'm better now. But I'm just telling you that, I don't put on an act. I never have. Never, ever, ever. If anything, like I said, and again, it's not to try to act tough or to appear like I'm made of steel or anything, but I try to be able to communicate with you well what's going on. It takes effort with this. And it's the only pepper look, it is what it is. I'm still blown away by it. I wake up thinking about it. It's a weird, weird pepper. You do something for 8 years in a row, every single day, in a quest for the hottest one, and then, like a dog that chased the car, I caught it. Now what do I do with it? I just want to eat more of them. But wow, what a pepper. Get your self-addressed stamped envelope, okay? Send it to Matthew Arthur, 207 Centerview. It's in the description box. Don't take my word for it. It's in the description box. This is what he said. He's mailing out every one he's got. He has more growing. As soon as they're mature, he's going to de-seed those and send those out too. In a time like this, when he comes, like the whole world in the pepper game is doing what? Every pepper grower wants to do what? Tell me. They want to be the one that creates the hottest pepper. Well, why do they want to do that? Is it just for this? Is it for this? Matthew just wants to do it because it's his passion. He could have cashed in. Do you realize what this pepper's worth? And he doesn't care. We've had long talks about money and how money changes people. He's not about money. He, in a spot where he could be cashing in, he's giving it away. Now, I'm telling you, if there were more people in the world like Matthew Arthur, it'd be a better world. I'm going to wrap it up right now. My heat's down to about a 2. Those are some ferocious peppers. My stomach is a little off today, so I apologize for not doing a big challenge. I still have probably 10 of them, so maybe I'll try to do 10 of them. But for 2 peppers, this is, if you get a chance to eat one, prep well, be careful, have a bucket near you, and just get ready for an experience that you'll carry for the rest of your life. I will never forget that pepper. Never, ever. Anyway, sorry to be so long-winded, but there was my confession. I had to tell you. I thought about it. I was like, I wonder if I should tell him. I told Matthew right away. He's laughed. He's like, yeah, I know. I'm telling you, it's a scary pepper. The warthog. In the description box, you're going to see where to send your self-addressed stamped envelope if you want some of these seeds. Now, you won't get the seeds from the phenotype I just ate. Those are phenotype 2. You'll get phenotype 1, which is the first. They're all labeled. The videos I've done are labeled 1 or 2. So, just get ready. My son and the lifeboat here, up on top, pepperology and all the challenges. Special pepper in the game now. The warthog has entered the game. I'm Johnny Scoville, and this was Chase the Heat.